Hi Vince. It's pretty hot here in Italy. I don't know if you
Ah,
can see
right.
the sweating.
Getting into summertime there. Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
into winter here.
all over Europe. It's like hot like crazy these
Right.
days, thanks
Mm.
to climate change.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit about how to navigate relationships from this different place, like with this things, with these understandings. It changes a little bit how you navigate them, and especially I don't really know how to deal with people's expectations. Like, for example, people expect something from me, like to be um, considerate. I can see like how people want to be loved, want to be appreciated. That is not a problem. But the problem is maybe when they expect to be seen as uh, they want to be loved because they want to be to feel special or unique, and I can see it because I come from the same place. But it's like they want to be loved as individuals, as unique individuals, as unique me's, as unique characters, as unique and that sounds a little bit fake to me. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I get
Because
it. I
yeah,
get it. Yeah.
loving people, yeah, people are awesome.
Mm.
But when they want to be loved in that specific way, that they want to be seen as this specific me, specific individual with with beautiful characteristics, and they
Yeah,
want
I
their
get it.
story
Yeah.
validated. They want their story to be validated by me, and I don't know how to react because I would feel like I feel like fake, like talking at that level, so specific level, at the individual level, and I don't know if it's this that it's like egoistic and is afraid of being fake, or if it's something that
Yeah. Yeah.
can be met, some expectation that just can be dealt with from this place I feel like I'm in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Look, it's that is a big issue. Yeah. And I did a story and a song about that some time ago. That
Mm.
very same thing. Yeah.
Think you've done songs about almost everything now, Vince, haven't you?
I've,
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a
I've,
story for everything at this
I
point.
just I just finished book 7, so that's
Wow.
350 stories that are out there. Yeah, but yeah, but anyway, so this is a big and a serious issue. How do you how do you as an awake person relate to somebody who's not awake? That's really what you're asking, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still lost in the illusion that there's a self there and they want that self
Yeah.
validated, etc.,
Because
etc.
usually
Yeah,
I try to reassure them using a language that sounds right to me, even if it's just words. But
yeah,
that language that I feel that comes out here, it's just like it's kind of nonsense to them sometimes. Sometimes
yeah,
it
yeah,
feels
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
nonsense.
I
What
find
I've come to is I have no trouble with that anymore with people, no matter who they are, no matter where they're coming from. I experience a genuine interest in what's going on for them, in what they're feeling. And I don't have to give opinions. I don't have to validate them. I simply don't have to invalidate them. If I don't invalidate them, if I don't say to them, oh, there's no self there for you to be like this, stop being that way, or whatever, that invalidates them. I don't do that. Essentially, whoever they are, wherever they are, however conditioned, however they've been conditioned, whatever weird way that they see the world, how they respond to that, their feelings are genuine feelings. And if I'm interested in what those feelings are, they feel validated. So this sounds crazy. I should do something about this one. I should do a story or something about this, but it's a difficult one to communicate. It feels to me when I'm with somebody, who, no matter who it is, when I'm having a intimate conversation with them, that I disappear. It's like I cease to be present at all. All there is interest in what they're saying, genuine interest in what they're feeling, what's going on for them. And that seems to do the job in a big way.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it feels like creating space and just listening
Yeah,
to them is enough. And it's what it's really required, and what it's really being asked for is just to listen. But there are some occasions in which I I won't go into details, but I'm thinking about a particular person in my life, and this person needs that there is probably a trauma wound in her, and she feels like she's not being seen, not only by me but by the world in general. So she needs other people to see her, to
she
see
needs
her
to
as,
feel seen. She needs to feel seen.
yeah,
Now she doesn't know whether somebody else is seeing her or not. You know, that's not possible to know, but she needs to feel like they do.
yeah,
And there's
because yeah, she never had this kind of scenes, so she's still caught in the illusion of this me character. She uses this language in which she asks about specific aspects of this individual that I love about her, that I like about her. She's talking at that level, and I can see that, and I'm sorry, and I feel the need to comfort her and to validate her somehow about. I can see the insecurity that it's
yeah,
underneath
yeah,
these requests, that she
yeah,
needs to feel that she exists, that she matters, that she is there, that she,
yeah. Of course, yeah, I get that.
yeah, but
So
I don't know
what does that
how
do for
to.
you? What does that produce in you? That's the trick. That's where the rubber hits the road. So if her insecurities produce insecurities in you,
Yeah,
then you're going to be defensive, and so she's not going to feel heard.
in the past, it happened a lot that it triggered my insecurities, my traumas about not being enough, not being adequate and so we triggered each other a lot. Then now I see the mechanism, this loop, this triggering each other thing that happens, and I don't, it's like I broke the loop. I have not those reactions that I had before. I can see that these are just
and if
her
this
traumas manifesting, and
yeah
they trigger some reactions here in the body, her reactions, but it's just physical stuff.
yeah so it's okay, so
But
it's
I
different.
don't know how to handle it at the language level, how to
I get it.
talk.
Yeah. So it's different if this is your girlfriend, if you know, if you're having a that kind of a relationship with her, that's different to if you're just having a
Mm,
conversation with a friend that you see
yeah.
occasionally, kind of thing, right? And if you change, that's going to make her feel insecure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening a lot recently. Yeah.
Yes. So she doesn't want you to be different. She wants you to be the same person that she fell in love with in the beginning. And so consequently, without realizing it, she will always welcome the familiar, what she knows,
Mm,
and she'll reject the unfamiliar, what she doesn't know. And that'll be the new you on the outside. If the new you makes her feel insecure, she's going to push against it. So this makes it an even trickier thing. How do you help her to feel okay with you when you're unfamiliar?
When we talked about this, I tried to explain her that nothing really changed. That that was already the case even before that this is what it is. It's just that now it's seen for what it is, but that's the only difference. And so the way I felt uh, in love with her or attracted to her, and that is still here, because nothing, the only thing that changed is that this story is seen for what it is, but it's still the same as it was. It's the case. It was already the case, so it's still like it was before. But I
Yeah.
don't know how.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get
Like
it.
if
Yeah.
this is if this makes sense
Yeah.
to
Okay.
her.
So here's something that I use with my wife. I don't talk about this stuff.
Mm.
If I say to my wife, that's a story, she goes, oh God, here we go again. Right? I can't talk with her about it, and I don't. So consequently, there is no conflict as a result of it. Now, in the early days, when I first had this experience, I was really excited. I wanted to fix the whole world, and I wanted my wife to come along with me.
Yeah.
But luckily, I sobered up before too much damage was done. So
Right. Yeah.
here's an interesting one, and that is that what we know is that we project our own internal processes out onto other people. Right. So if somebody says you are something, you can be sure that they're talking about themselves, even though it might not be quite so direct as that. But essentially, people will see what they expect to see. People will hear what they expect to hear. And so as long as you don't confront them, doesn't matter how much you change, they'll still see you the way they've always seen you, which has got nothing to do with you. The way they've always seen you is the way they see you. It's always coming from them. Right? So people will see you how they've always seen you, no matter how different you are. To a point. So essentially, if you're not trying to convert them, there's probably not gonna, there's no problem.
Mm.
If you basically, if you keep this stuff to yourself, they're not going to know that you're going through it. But in the beginning, you get excited. You want everybody to share in what you know, because it's good.
Yeah, I know that it's about me too, because it can't be about anybody else. It's about me. There
Yeah.
is there's a need, this individual needs to be understood too. This needs to be understood and needs to be seen too. So
Yeah.
this needs to be, his words needs to be true
Yeah. That's why you
to
come here.
himself. Because it's felt like for a long time, there's a story appearing that for a long time this hasn't been true to itself, and now that it has seen something, now it can be true to itself. It can meet itself. I can meet myself, and so this needs to always be true, even when relating to other people, even when interacting with other people. And there's
So
still this, yeah.
here's a big one for you. It's valuable and I would say important. That's a stupid word, but right, to be authentic with yourself.
Mm.
That doesn't mean that you have to tell anybody else.
Mm.
Just recognizing what's going on for yourself internally is all that's required.
It's it's a difficult uh, path to follow, because you're always walking a thin line, and on one side there is being true to what happens here in this direct experience. On the other side, there is not not creating more self by showing talking about this stuff to other people, but it's hard to
Yeah. Look,
answer other people's
it's perfectly
direct questions
reasonable. It's
without betraying neither of these
yeah.
two
No,
things.
but you know that there's not, and you're not interested in whether they know it or not. If they talk like there's a self running the show, that's how you will talk to them. Now, just because you say, I did this and I did that and so on, doesn't mean that that's what happened. That's just your way of communicating. So whoever you're talking with, whoever you're with, it's valuable and important to meet them where they are. Now, of course, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you can only imagine where they are. But you know that if they're not on this path, that we don't need to talk to them about no self. We will talk to them as if there is a self, even though we know there's not. And that's not lying, that's not subterfuge, that's just meeting them where they are.
Yeah, I think there is also a little bit of what you said before, of me wanting her to come along with me and to meet me here.
Yeah. Yep. It's a very, very natural thing too.
Because I see like a lot of her anxieties, they come from this, they also stem from this misunderstanding, from this.
And that makes it a lot harder for you because you can see really clearly.
Yeah, it's harder to shut up because I see it.
Yeah.
And I see how she could be way less anxious about some stuff.
So you can see,
you
could be anywhere in the world, in anybody's house, in the shopping centre, you could be anywhere, and you can see people suffering, and it's self-inflicted. And you can see how easy it is to change that if they only could understand. Yet it's not your job to do that.
Yeah, I don't understand if it's selfish of me or if it's genuine
It can be
caring.
genuine compassion, but you can't express it because then it turns into something else.
Yeah, it will turn into what she sees of me.
Do you have religious people knocking on your front door trying to convert you? Seventh-day Adventists or whatever? Well, you don't want to be one of them, do you?
Yeah. But now it's also true that now in these last months, I see those kind of people.
Yes.
I have less resistance toward those kinds of people. Even if what they say is not believed here or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
I see where they come from. I see where they come from.
You can see their heart. You can see they want good things for people, even though their idea of good things is a bit stupid or whatever. Yeah. But you can see that if you started talking to a stranger on the street or knocked on somebody's door and said, you don't have to suffer. I can fix your suffering. All you've got to do is realize there's no self there. Well, how long before they put you away, or they ring the police, or they start throwing rocks at you?
Yeah, but the more you know someone, the more it's harder to let go of this belief that I
because
can
the compassion is even greater for them, and
the
their
compassion
suffering
is greater, and the fact that I know them better makes it like makes the possibility of convincing them or showing them more real, because I know how they reason, how they approach the world, how they see the world, and so maybe I can use some kind of more nuanced language or more
well, no, the way
tailored language.
The way that it might happen is that they notice over a period of time that you don't react in the same way you used to react. They notice over a period of time that you have in fact become calmer and more relaxed. and
Mm.
your good humor is bigger. They notice those things, and eventually they might say to you, something has changed in you. I'm interested. And then you can start talking very little bit slowly. But you've got to wait until they ask. You can only help people that ask you for help.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, I've learned that lesson the hard way several times. You can't, you know, the people you love, the people you want to, it just drives them away wanting to help them. Yeah.
I think part of the problem there, Vince, is that when you start talking to people like that, they don't really know what you're talking about. For one thing, and that doesn't help. But I really recognise what you were saying about your wife. I had exactly the same thing, and I learned to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does rub off on them, but in a way that they don't even realise. Yeah. So when you just don't get wound up in the way you used to, they'll notice, but slowly. Yeah. And it opens up a whole lot of other things too. It's a big one with what is this thing called connection? You know, we think we've made a connection with somebody. We think we love somebody. And when you look at it, what is actually going on, you can't find anything tangible that connects you to another person. Your love for them. Well, you can see looking at famous people, you can see that they can be head over heels in love, and then 3 years later they hate each other. So, you know, is that love? Was it ever love? It was something, but it can change pretty fast. And so this idea of what is connection, what is love? What do we love when we love another person? What actually is that goes on? So it's like we confront a paradox that we're born alone, we live alone, and we die alone from one perspective, yet everybody is connected from another perspective. Everybody is the same person. And both are true. And it seems like it's a paradox. How do you reconcile that there is no such thing as separateness, that everything, absolutely everything is somehow or other connected to everything else? In fact, not only is it connected in terms of parts, but if we go beyond that, then it's the same thing. We're not even part of anything. Everything is all of everything, and it's all the same, all connected. That's weird. How, you know, like even me trying to communicate that one to you, you can go, you know, oh yeah, he's a bit woo-woo-ish, isn't he? Yeah.
No,
It's a hard one. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I understand it somewhat. Like this definition of love changed here too, because it's like the only possible form of love. I don't know if this is true but right now it feels like the only possible form of love is accepting things for what they are, as they are. It's like
Mm.
this unconditional kind of love is the only love that makes sense,
Yeah.
because all the other forms that are called love are conditional, or
Yeah. And if it's
transactional,
conditional, it's not
or
love. Yeah.
transactional, conditional, or sometimes there is self-annihilation, self-despise in this people loving because yeah, there is something, you get something in return, like you love someone because either you get validated or you get support or you get emotional support or you get something. And that, yeah, you can call it love, but it's not, it's the negation of love in some, in a sense, even if you call it love.
It's more like approval if it's transactional or conditional. Yeah. But I like the to think about, to contemplate that love is what is left, or rather it is what is exposed. But see, even that talks about it like it's a thing, but it's not. When there is no resistance. If there's no resistance to anything, there's love. But it's a tricky one. Yeah.
I think there's another aspect of it, Vince. What I would call affinity. You know, a kind of an attraction, a willingness to occupy the same space as. Yeah, that sort of idea. I think there's an aspect of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that sharing thing that goes on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing with that is, of course, it requires two objects. You know, one that has an affinity with the other, and vice versa. So it's not probably an ultimate version of love.
Yeah, it's interesting to contemplate all of that, isn't it?
It is, yeah. What you were talking about earlier. Sorry.
It might be that affinity is just a form of acceptance, or that when there is affinity between you and someone else or you and something else, it's because you just don't want that other person or thing to be different, but to be something else. So it's already acceptance. I don't know. Yeah, these are just.
It's kind of like when you meet, you can meet people sometimes who you click with. You know, they're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
In other words, you have an affinity with them.
Yeah.
They're kind of the kind of same sort of thing as you identify with, as it were. Although it's got identity in it, but we've got to have some identity somewhere. To talk about.
There's no resistance. Yeah, there is no resistance to that other person, to the way that other person is.
Yeah, you could talk about it in terms of compatibility. You could talk about it in terms of a good fit. You know, if we have a good fit, it means that when we're together, we tend to make up a third identity, if you like. So when we're apart, we're two individuals, and when we're together, we're two individuals, but togetherness makes up another identity.
Yeah.
If it's a good fit. If it's a bad fit, that doesn't happen, does it?
No.
But you know, you can already say that if you're with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, that there's been a comfortable fit at some point for you to get together in the first place. You've overcome that initial working out whether you are a good fit or not. And you wouldn't be together if you weren't a good fit.
Yeah, that is what I tried to tell her, that it was already the case. So yeah, the mere fact that we've been together is already what is. It's already the validation, all the validation that it's needed. It's not in the words, it's not in the stories that we create
Yeah.
in the mind, but it's in the fact that we share, as Rod was saying, that we share our lives. And when we share it, there is usually no resistance, or there is this spontaneity, this affinity and spontaneity. You can call it whatever you want. It's this need for words that is sometimes a little bit problematic, because it needs to happen on a plane that is different from sharing the same space or sharing the same experiences and enjoying life together, and enjoying silence together, that is, words are on a different kind of level, and they are not the real thing. Yeah, they can't offer real validation. They can only create more stories. Even if you make a big speech and profess love and profess all, these are just words. So how do you know that these words really
that's right,
refers to something true, or they describe something that but talking to that level might cause like even bigger troubles if someone doesn't see what I mean. So, yeah, it's dangerous, like talking like this, because it can be, because words like this, they can totally be taken and transformed and be perceived. They are perceived in a total unique way by everyone. So the words that the meaning that I am trying to convey is not the meaning that is received.
Sure, exactly. That's right. Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
So
So if you talk to somebody, a single person, somebody who lives alone, what do they do? What do they do to get what you have with your girlfriend? I'm not talking about the obvious stuff, the physical stuff. I'm just talking the company, the conversations.
yeah,
What do they do if they're a single person?
it's about, I think, acceptance, as I said before. When there is acceptance, everything is free to be what it is.
Yeah. So
what it already is.
what
So
I'm pointing at here, though, is that acceptance that you're talking about needs to be acceptance you have for yourself.
Yeah, and that's the point. You're right. It feels like now there is more acceptance to myself. I accept myself more. This is accepted. There is less resistance to what compared to before. A lot more acceptance for what is here.
Yeah. You don't
And
have to
so,
approve to accept.
yeah. There is less need for external approval.
Mm.
I mean, there are still reactions and conditioning and suffering, but it's seen for what it is. It's seen, yeah.
So it's a bit antisocial in our Western society to be narcissistic, right? Yet it could be seen that what we're encouraging is a form of narcissism, in that you can only legitimately talk about yourself. And if we put that in a more accurate way, if you share your experiencing, if that's all you do in a conversation with somebody else, you'll be doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they won't see it as that, but that's what it'll be. That's what you're doing. You're sharing your experience. And they want to hear you say, my experience is that I'm hearing you say this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives them the opportunity to say, oh, well, no, I didn't quite mean it like that. I meant this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then so you polish it up and you get, and so what happens? They feel heard.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with you sharing your experience. My experience is that I'm hearing you say this. Is that correct? I'm presuming
Yeah, you froze up a little
my
bit.
computer keeps freezing. But do you hear my
Yeah,
voice? Does the audio keep going?
The last 10 seconds we missed the last 10 seconds maybe. Yeah, but I see what you mean. It's like that by learning to accept this, and you can learn to accept everything else too. So you
Yeah.
learn to accept everyone, and like you create space when they talk, you create space for them, so you can accept them and let them express too. And it's true that phrase that I've read a lot of times in the past in books and whatnot, that you can only love other people if you know how to love yourself. That now is seen very clearly. That is not a phrase anymore. It's seen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can
Excellent.
only accept other people if you learn to accept what is
Yes.
here, because you
Yeah.
start from here. You can only start from here,
Yeah.
accepting.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's about it.
So you can't even imagine what's going on for somebody else unless you've had that experience yourself. Your version of it, obviously it's not going to be the same, but so whatever you're imagining that they are experiencing is a version of what you've experienced. But for me, it's a big thing to realize and remind myself, although I don't need to do it so much these days, but I used to do it a lot, to remind myself that I don't ever know what's going on. All I have is my interpretation. And my interpretation is influenced by a lifetime of experience, by stories that I've heard, by things that I've read, by people that I've listened to, and by all the conditioning that's gone on in my life that's what shaped my interpretation. And so it's my interpretation. It says nothing about what is actual. So no matter what I refer to, all I've got is my interpretation of it. And if I recognize that fact, I'm not going to get aggressive or be pedantic about anything, because I recognize that your interpretation of the same thing is going to be different to mine. So I can't be categorical about anything. I have to be soft and forgiving about anybody's opinion, because it is just their interpretation. And it's my interpretation of their interpretation. So I've got to be even softer in my experience of it.
You remind me, Vince, of conversations I've had with my wife about what the colour of something is.
Yeah, yeah. You
That
say it's a
famous
blue car,
dress,
and she
is
says
it
it's a
blue?
green
Yeah.
car. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we can get lost easily in I am right and you are wrong, or I am wrong and you are right, or whatever. But the actuality of it, the reality is, your experience says it's this color, and my experience says it's that color. And there's no getting around that. That's the way my brain worked. My brain said it's green. Your brain said it's blue, or whatever.
I
And
go in
so,
between and say it's teal.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah,
But of course, there's the actual experience of colour is not a definite thing, isn't it? It depends on a label. You've got an
yeah.
experience. You have to
That's
put a
right.
label on it.
Yep.
And colours are kind of tricksy unless you get one of those colour charts you get from the paint suppliers.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
agree.
yeah. It's a trick. Yeah. Well, I read a thing that was really interesting. I found it really, really interesting. And that was that before a certain year, I don't remember when it was, and I don't even remember the other details, but what it came about was that there was no word for that color, and the consequence was nobody saw that color. And after the word turned up to describe the color, people could see it.
Yes.
That's
that
an
makes sense.
interesting one. That's a tricky one. I must look it up again. That was a long time ago I read that one.
In many ancient cultures, people couldn't differentiate between blue and green. They only had one word for both blue and green. Even if Chinese, if you look at the ancient character for qing, it's blue. It means blue and green together, because
Yeah,
in
yeah,
ancient times they couldn't differentiate it.
yeah. Yeah, so it was only when the words blue and the words green turned up that we started to differentiate the shades and say, yeah, that's this and that's that. Yeah, yeah, that's a good example, isn't it? But what it shows you is that, like, how did I learn that was the color green? Was it because when I was young and I saw that color, somebody pointed to it and said, that's green? And so I then latched onto that and said, forevermore in my life, that will be green, not blue, green.
Well,
Maybe.
you can change your mind afterwards if you like.
Thank you. Yeah. But the point I'm making is, isn't it a blatant expose of how conditioning works?
Mm.
So it affects our actual experiencing. It's not just at an intellectual level. Yeah. Oh dear, that's I've got that. That's the biggest problem I've got at the moment. I'm working with somebody who has got the best handle on it intellectually, but do you think we can turn it into something experiential? Oh God, it is so frustrating. It's so intriguing. Oh yeah. But yeah, we can't have. This has become a bit of a thing for me. We can't have the experience of something without it also having an intellectual component. Right? They go together. We may not have defined it radically intellectually, but it's got to be there as a concept as well as an experiential something.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everyone. I'm just popping in to say that that's what I'm actually working on now. I had purchased a book a while ago from Christian, a German lady
Yes,
who
yeah.
does the better. Okay, yeah.
Christian Michelberger.
Yeah. Working
Mm.
through the illusion of self.
Yep.
So I
She's a
started reading
big
it again,
fetters
and
lady.
I'm stumped at the first, like just the opening. One of the questions is, what is it that you think will change? I'm like, holy shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I guess experience would still be the same, but there just wouldn't be an identity with it, attached identity,
Yeah.
right?
It's a
Like
tricky
I'm
one,
still
that
gonna,
one, isn't it? Yeah. So
yeah, I'm still gonna
so
eat.
isn't
I'm
it
still
really
gonna,
loud and logical to you that if you haven't experienced it, it's not accessible to you. You can't know. So the question, what do you think will change, should lead you to, I don't know.
no, I don't know. I'm just
No.
imagining that I wouldn't have this constant judgment character complaining, like what you were saying, like just nothing but words and not experience.
Mm.
Because that's where I am in the book now, just about experience. Words aren't experience. But yet, I think we use our words to say what we're experiencing, but that's
Yeah.
not the experience. It's just a word. It's like the smell of a rose is not the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
And
tricky one, isn't it? You know.
oh wow.
Yeah.
It's exciting in a way. But it's still, you're caught in and within a half a second back into that whole world of just thought about what
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah.
experience.
Okay, so here's the thing, Jenny. This is a really, really big one for you. But I can't say. I don't know how to say it. I want to say what this is wrong, but it's a lead into it. Experience will be the same, but the consequences of that experience will be different. Now that's wrong, but it's right. It's as good as I can say it to start off with. All right, so let's follow up on that one and chase it down and see what comes out of it. Right. So you're saying there won't be all that constant judgment going
The
on.
suffering part of experience.
Yeah. Right. So what if the judgment still happens, but instead of you spiraling off into what I call second arrow
Yep,
responses, suffering,
yep, yep.
what if instead of that happening, you went, oh, there's that story again. That Jenny
I
is whatever, right?
yes, I can. Yes,
So
I hear you. I know.
this experience of the judgment still happens,
Okay.
but the relationship to it, the response from it is different.
That's what I mean. I do.
Yeah.
I realize that the program's not going to stop. Like it can't
Yeah,
until
but
it
it
finds
will stop when you
it'll.
when you have this nonchalant response to it that says,
Right.
you know, okay, there's that story again. Oh, Jesus, I wonder when those stories are going to stop. Yeah, there's another story
Right.
about them stopping, you know.
Huh.
Then
Okay.
what happens is that they happen less frequently because
Yeah.
they no longer wind you up and get
Yeah.
reinforced.
It's like the fan. It's like going
Yes.
so fast you can't see the blades, and then you'll finally start to see. It's like
Yeah,
a
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. And it takes a while for them to spin to a stop.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah. I bet.
Yeah. And you know, here I am 15 years later almost, and things still turn up. And I think to myself, that's interesting. I wonder how long they're going to go. I wonder if they'll ever go. Maybe I'll die before they work their way out and not happen anymore. I don't know, you know.
But there's
But
no suffering with them for you.
no, and you know
You
what?
don't get the second
I
arrow.
don't care. That's right. I couldn't be bothered.
Mm. Okay. Wow, that'll be delightful.
Yeah, so maybe I'll never earn my saffron robe.
You have one. You have one with us. Don't worry.
No, but
I
that's
could
your
see you with one.
projection. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We could probably
I don't think so.
argue about the colour when you actually show up with it.
Yeah, yeah. Is that orange or is it saffron? What is it?
Yeah.
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 What book is
So,
it that you're reading, Jenny? Is it the How to See Through the Imaginary Self one?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've read that one.
is that her first book?
No, it's a second book.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
okay.
a workbook too. It's well, she classifies it as a workbook with
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of the exercises, right?
yeah. Now, she's a good lady, and she's good, but she's German and she's very pedantic about things, and she, as far as she's concerned, the fetters are the way to go, and you don't break fetter 2 until you've broken fetter 1, etc. Right. So
In one word, she's German.
yeah, yeah,
That's okay. I'm not speaking with her, so I probably wouldn't because I wouldn't want to be challenged.
yeah. But she's got some good insights for sure, and yeah,
Yeah.
There, she does have a group on Facebook where you can
Oh yeah?
talk.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah.
you can, yeah.
Yeah, I just
Because,
caught up in the whole storyline again. So I know I can't, but I'm hoping the direction that this energy takes me is to see through it because it causes way too much suffering for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
she's helped me out with some of the fetters, you know. I think I've gone through fetter 6 or something, you know, and so she gave me the grilling, you know, about what happened and all that, you know, and which is quite helpful in a way, you know, to have
Yeah.
someone who's
I'll be happy with one, getting
yeah.
through one right now.
So here's the thing,
Gradual.
Jenny. I want you to hear me with this one. As this other person that I'm working with, that, as I said, I'm feeling frustration is not right, but I get there's a bit of intensity that turns up with it.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about,
Yeah, and
and I understand.
one of the thoughts I had today was, you know, I've told you 55 times
Mhm.
something that will be a portal for you, that will take you across the bridge, so to speak. And I keep telling you, and I've told you again and again and again and again and again, these different things, these different ways.
Yeah.
And if you listen to me and understand what I'm saying, you'd be done. You don't have to keep working. It's all finished. You'd be finished right now. You could wake up right now. Now, of course, I don't say it like that, and I don't. That's but that's kind of a exaggeration of a kind of an attitude that is hovering around in the background for me.
Yes, yes.
And I can only keep responding with what seems appropriate. What turns up here is appropriate, and be patient. Be really patient about that. And in a way that I want you to have that patience as well. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to read anything. You don't need to listen to anybody. You don't need to come to these meetings. You don't need to do a single thing. It will happen when it happens. And it will always be now when it happens. And it won't be the end of anything. It'll just be like, I don't know, what's a good analogy? It'll just be like you've stopped walking up the stairs and you've got into the lift for the last part of the journey. That's what the experience will be like when that first shift happens that changes the way you see things. And of course, there's still work to be done, and there will still be work to be done until there isn't. But that's not work; it becomes play. That's another thing. Yeah.
But okay. And you know how frustrating that sounds to the mind, right?
Yeah. I get it. I get that. Yeah.
Um, if
Yeah.
I didn't seek or read or anything, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well,
So
that's a good story, and it's a good story. I mean, I'm not just being facetious here. It is a good
no, I
story,
know.
right? Yeah, because it's true. But you now know enough stuff, right? So learning more stuff isn't going to do it. It's something that you've heard. I mean, what will happen? What will happen? What frequently happens to people is after that shift occurs, you'll go, "Oh, now I know what you were talking about. Now I understand. Now that God, that is so simple. That is so ordinary." That's the kind of response you'll have afterwards. But until it until it happens, it's oh God, why won't it
I
come?
do.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So even though that what I read today about experience, actual experience, if it can't be seen, felt, heard, touched, smelled, it's not real. You and
Yeah.
and my would never think that way ever unless I was
Mm.
provided with that knowledge. I would have never gone there to figure that out. It wouldn't have fucking it would sorry, it wouldn't I
Yeah.
don't know, I can't
You don't,
say,
don't you don't need
but
to be sorry, but yeah.
you know, logically that's not the normal path people choose
Yeah.
reading.
And I'll tell you something that's a big one that comes from that is that a lot of people engage the mind and call it experiencing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's all it is for me. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if I ever stopped to really experience until I've been provided
Yeah.
with this different way. Like what else is there then if there you can't think and use your words? Like what's life then?
Well, it's not a matter of excluding thinking and words. See, there's I don't know quite how to put this. You can take any word and that word could be a description of something that you experience, or it could be a story about it. And it's the same word.
Can you provide me with an example? It's kind
Yeah,
of
all right. Let's see if we can come up with one. So the video's frozen again. This is
I
my
can still hear
computer's
you. It's
doing that.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm holding up my hand in front of me, and if I
Oh,
say this is my hand,
yeah.
I can be feeling my hand, and when I say this is my hand, it's a description of what I'm holding up.
Okay.
And what I'm where I'm coming from. Can you still hear me?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Where I'm coming from is I'm not describing this actual thing that's in front of me. I'm talking about it as a bodily appendage kind of thing. I'm talking about the theory of anatomy when I say
Yeah.
this is my hand. You see what I mean? So the difference
Yeah.
between the two, one of them is I'm actually feeling my hand and I'm saying this is my hand. I can feel my fingers and so on. Or I can say, oh, well, I've got a hand on the end of my arm,
Right.
right? And I'm talking about it. Even though I'm holding my hand up, it seems like I'm talking about my actual hand, but I'm not. I'm talking about anatomy in general. So one is a description of experience and the other one is a story about. And it's the same thing. I mean, the same actual words are used. Now this is a
Okay.
big one. So let's stay with this one. So maybe we can find another example.
How is that gonna? Okay. How is that? What is that good for me?
Yes, well,
Oh,
that's good. That's so one of those portals that I talked about that you can use to enable a shift to happen is to recognize the difference between what is actual and
yeah.
what is conceptual.
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
when we do that, we can go the next step and we can realize that a whole lot of what we thought was actual is indeed only conceptual.
Conceptual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, oh, okay. I guess it's just gonna be one of those things that boom. And that's why you need to know that because right now it's like, yeah, okay, so what? It's
Yeah, so what? That's right.
okay.
Yeah. So it's good that
Like,
you can see that. So what? That's really excellent stuff because when it dawns on you
yeah,
the significance of that, it'll be, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So now it's the same thing. So let's say, is it possible for you to have an empty thought, a thought with no story, a thought with no
no,
content? No, it's not, is it? Right.
no,
In other words, we have to have content for the existence of a thought to be there.
yeah, yeah,
Right? But there's two
yep,
aspects to this. You're having a thought, you can recognize that you had a thought, and what it's about is irrelevant. Right? There is a thought that turned up. I experienced having a thought. Right? And I know in the background that the thought was about pink elephants,
mhm.
but it becomes irrelevant. I'm not focusing on the fact that on the idea of pink elephants. I'm focusing on the fact that a thought occurred to me.
And they're all irrelevant though, aren't they? Because all thoughts are meaningless.
Well, when you can just grok the difference between the content of the thought and the fact
Yeah,
of a thought's existence, and it gives you the ability to say, there's that story again, but I don't have to respond to the content of it.
okay.
And so there's a really important and significant shift that can happen as a result of you changing your relationship to the content of thoughts.
And I know you've told me that many times.
Mm.
And every time you tell me,
Thanks, Rod.
Cheers.
I understand you clearly.
But
And
the ramifications, the consequences, that's where the value is for us in it, not in the actual thing itself. Yeah.
yeah, because obviously it's not landing where it needs
Yeah.
to have the effect that I understand it has.
Mm.
Like you said to me, a thought thoughts have to have content, or you asked me, can you have an empty thought? You asked me, right?
Mm.
And I right away said no. I didn't know even think about
Yeah.
if it was a true question or not. It's like, no, I can't. But then content is conceptual.
Yes. It's always conceptual.
It's always, only always, right?
Yeah. But our response to that content is experiential.
Yes. Which is either which is our response to it is usually another thought,
Mm.
because we're not really feeling what we're experiencing. We're too busy up here. Or
Yeah.
at least I'm going to speak for myself, right?
Yeah.
I feel that I respond with thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't talk for you really, of course, but I imagine that there's a sliding scale of how much physical bodily reaction happens as a result of a thought. And so it can go from zero bodily reaction and just more thoughts through
Yeah.
to a full-on anxiety attack or something like that as a result of
Yeah.
that thought, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it could vary a lot. Yeah. But once you can get the significance of the impossibility of not having a thought that's already turned up and done, right? But what the thought's about has no positive value. It's not an adaptable thought, right? So those criticisms, self-criticisms, for example, right? We have a big response to them, but they don't have legitimacy because they're not description. They're more like us getting in talking about the hand as a piece of anatomy. Because when you have self-criticism, I'll guarantee you're criticizing an abstract noun. You're criticizing morality, you're criticizing competence, you're criticizing success or failure, you're criticizing
Yeah.
all of those things that don't exist in actual fact. They are
Right.
only stories, but
Yeah.
stories that we take so seriously that we
Yeah.
behave as if they're real.
Yeah. Just doesn't seem like it's possible.
And it gets a bit tricky too. So, for example, self-criticism can say reflect on our body shape, and then you think, well, that's not conceptual. That's an actual. I actually am. I have got this gut. So it actually is there. I can put my hand on it. I can touch it. I can even hear it. That's Yet, where does the too much come from?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a,
Yes. Yes.
it's a comparison story, isn't it?
Yes.
Or it's a
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
from medical science, or it's a story
Yeah.
from social
Yeah.
normals, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have the same. I've been like that since I was a young kid, and that one was just not budging. Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
seeing it more that it's just such an idea that I had as a young person
Yeah.
that I had to be a certain way for
Yep.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. In order to be good,
Yeah. To be wanted, to be accepted,
attractive, to be whatever.
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever that gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's not stopping very quickly, but it is stopping,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
which
well,
is nice.
that age is good with that for a lot of people,
Yeah.
not for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of go, well, can't do anything about it now. It is the way it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I don't care anymore about that stuff, relationship and stuff.
So with the way we've been talking, it certainly promotes the idea that there can be a significant experience that we might call a shift that will take place, and after that, everything will be different. That's not what my experience is with most people. There will be. So I'm frequently find myself working with somebody that had a shift in the past and lost it, and they want to get back to it. That happens
Mm,
quite a bit. And when that happens, I'm at a loss to explain to them that what they're focusing on was an experience, and all experiences are temporary. All experiences come and go. Right?
mhm,
But the reason for that experience is where they need to be looking, not at the experience itself. So not trying to get back to it. So
mhm,
what happens is that we have lots and lots of little shifts,
mhm,
lots of little realizations.
mhm,
And if we don't give them credit where credit is due,
mhm,
we diminish the effect that they have. And so
mhm,
by acknowledging all of those little realizations,
mm,
and
mm,
sometimes we put our finger on them to acknowledge them even. So what we can do is you can say, how was life? What is my memory of life a year ago compared to today? Is can I say that I take things a little bit lighter?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I know what you're saying. I see that in myself. I do.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. I
So,
really,
so
I
yeah,
agree.
those things are happening for you as a
Yeah,
result
yes,
of that. Yeah.
that I do see. I do recognize like things are different. Yeah, yeah. So that's that whole, it'll happen when it happens. Each one will happen when it happens.
Mm.
And sometimes you don't even notice it until you're faced with a situation that
Yep.
doesn't have the same reaction, right?
And even when it does happen, what would you do differently? You would still be interested in what's going on if you get triggered. If you go, if
Yeah, it depends on the trigger because I was like triggered to health this week and there's no way I was stopping to look at what was doing it because I was just seeing red. So,
yeah,
but on hindsight, I guess it's something that could be looked at. It's like, yeah, it was
well,
all,
say that now that's a big one and that's a good one. And that is there's always hindsight, right? So
hmm
when you get triggered, even if it swallows you up and you get lost in it, the
hmm
time will come when you'll go, I was lost in that.
mm,
It might be hours later, it might even be the next day. You know, it could be
Yeah.
sometime afterwards. But
Yeah.
if you recognize that that happens, that moment, that the time comes when you can objectively review what
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
then that becomes, if you celebrate that moment, that's the biggest impact on changing the way the brain works. And that's what will
Oh,
encourage that to come along sooner.
okay.
Right?
So, but I'll give you a short blurb here. I felt that um we're just as the public here in Toronto, Ontario, can't, the government, the way they take advantage, and it's so bad, and you're stuck helpless. And that helpless feeling for me is not
Mm-hmm.
not doing it, man. Like, how dare, like, I'm so taken advantage of, and I can't do anything about it. And we work so hard, and we get smacked in the face, stuffed back, to survive. It's horrible. It's just horrible how human beings can be treated
Mm.
just
So
because you're
can,
carved. I want to cry right now. I'm so angry, you
yeah,
know?
I get that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So let me ask you this. Can you do anything about it?
not a fucking thing
No. Now, there's a good
except be
story.
angry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, being angry is one way for you to divert away from the unpleasant feelings that it brings up for you, being helpless.
Mm,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
anger feels a lot better because it feels like you're in
yes,
charge. It feels like
yes,
you know, and you can express something. And there's a kind of a high that you can get out of being angry too.
yes,
You know?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't get angry often.
Mm.
I really don't. But when I'm angry, ugh, it's a horrible feeling. I don't like feeling angry, but
Yeah.
obviously I don't want to feel the other one because I know it's helplessness.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I was to go down that road and start thinking about all of the shit that's happened as a result of just where the world is at the moment, the wars that
Yeah.
are going on that are really apparent because of the media and so on,
Hmm.
I'd have to go and cut my throat.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's
it's
too
not
much.
so acceptance of that stuff does not mean approval of that stuff.
I
But
certainly don't
but
approve.
but what can I do? I mean, 50 years ago, I even had the momentary thought that maybe I should get into politics in order to try and bring about some change. And of
Mm.
course, these days I realise that, well, I just get corrupted like every other politician. You know, that's the nature of the system, isn't it? So
Maybe
there we,
that's
that's,
Marianne Williamson.
no, I didn't know. Oh,
No.
Marianne, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. There you go, yeah. So living with acceptance but not approval. See, the old idea, a lot of people imagine that acceptance means approval.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
fact that you don't, that it doesn't, makes it a lot easier to accept.
Yes. It does. I guess it does. It lightens the load a little bit, and it's
Now, if
still.
you can't
Yeah.
change it,
Yeah.
I mean, right,
I
okay,
can't. I
so it's
can't.
like, I can go to that wall in front of me there and I can start punching it because there should be a doorway there through to the other side, but there's no
Hmm.
door there,
Hmm.
so what can I do? I can just get angry and hurt myself by punching the wall or whatever, but I
Yeah.
can't do anything about it, can I?
No. No.
So,
It's just so funny. Why would I keep going back to getting so angry again when I I know I
Yes.
can't do anything. I tried to complain. It's not going to happen. It's not, nothing's
Yeah.
going to change what happened.
Okay, so what the technique that you can use is you can look at what is going on for you underneath the
Mm,
anger, right? So the anger is
okay.
the surface thing, but
Yeah.
underneath that, you've already
Yeah.
mentioned, is that feeling of helplessness. It's
Yeah.
wrong, right? Underneath that is the story about where the helplessness comes from, and that is that it's wrong. It should not be this way.
You shouldn't be helpless. Like helpless people, when I
No,
find when somebody's helpless, that's fucking drives me
yeah,
nuts.
that's right, right. But what you're helpless about is a situation that shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? And the idea that you're helpless is an acceptance that you can't change it. But underneath that, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, says it can be changed. But it can't be. Not directly anyway. So can you see that there's a conflict there? There's you saying it's wrong, it should be different, but I can't do anything about it,
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm
right?
saying.
Which means it could be changed, but it can't be changed at the
Which is
same
going to
time.
cause nothing but problems. And like, it's just,
Well, exactly, yeah.
so what am I saying again? I couldn't, I can't, it could be changed. I'm thinking it could be, but it can't be.
Well, you're saying it should be different,
Yeah.
but I'm helpless to do anything about it.
Yes.
It should be different, but I can't do anything to change it.
Yes. Yes.
So you're in quicksand, aren't you?
Yeah. And that's causing me,
Well, that's causing you to get angry and do all,
yeah.
and everything else that's going on. You'll end up getting sick if you stay with it for long enough. So if we look at the helplessness,
Yeah.
that's based on the idea that it can be changed. But you know it can't be changed. So if you accept that it can't be changed, you're not helpless. You're only helpless if you want to change it. You're
So,
never going to be able to change that it's wrong. You can see the injustice in it. You can see that
yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact of the way you're seeing it, which is
Yeah.
very
Which,
likely a good description of what it actually is.
yeah.
But you can't do anything about that. So if you accept it but not approve of it, you're not going to be helpless anymore. You're only helpless to change it. Now, there's a really interesting irony here, and that is that once you accept that you can't change it and you're no longer helpless, you might find just that you can change it, but maybe not directly and maybe not instantly, but nevertheless. But while ever you're lost in helplessness and anger, you're not even going to be able to think straight, let alone approach it in a way that could be effective.
Now that applies to everything I feel helpless with then, right?
Yeah.
Like my daughter's circumstance, the way I see her life could all that nonsense and
Hmm.
how it's not the way I want it and it should be different. and I feel so helpless.
Yep.
Right.
Mm. And as a result of all of that, you're probably not as close to her as you'd like to be.
Oh, for me, that I am close for my kind of person. I'm not a very close person. Like,
Really?
I don't, yeah,
Mm.
I, to me, I'm very close to her compared to the way my mom was with me. So
Mm.
that's what I'm comparing it to. To me, I'm very close. Yeah. But I can only imagine by looking at this helplessness whenever it comes up. And I have been doing that. And so it has lessened my need to change her, which just feels better for me. And it allows me just to accept what's going on
Yeah.
a little easier.
And when she doesn't feel judged,
Yeah.
she'll have a
Yeah.
different attitude towards you as well.
Yeah, that's sad. She probably has been feeling judged. I know she has. Oh, jeez. It's just the protection agency in me. And that's when you guys are talking about love earlier. That's how I relate love, what I relate love to in a way, because one of the questions with this Christiane book was the other one, what would you not want to lose or wouldn't want to change? It's like, well, the first thing I thought of was my family and how much I love them. And to be honest, I was only thinking of my daughter and my grandchildren and my
Mm.
brother because they're my four that, I love them more than all my other family. I was just
Mm.
being honest with myself, right? And then I'm like, well, what's love? I'm like, what is that? Because I've never known I don't know what love means. And
No, well, see, I don't either. Now, the
I don't,
more I look at it, the less clear it becomes what it
yeah,
is. And yet I
it
know the
just,
experience of it.
yeah, but that's a scary experience for me. That's nothing but it's protection.
Mm.
That's how I feel what love is. It's like I wouldn't want to lose my desire to protect my family.
Yeah. No, you will. Well, you won't.
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure I won't.
Pretty
But I
much
don't want
the
to.
opposite will happen. Yeah.
I don't want to save somebody other kid, not my own grandkid. I'm just being real. Like I don't want to ever have to feel like choosing. I mean, like, who would I
No.
choose? Save my own.
Yeah. No,
I don't want
you never
that.
be. Yeah. Mm.
I don't give a shit what I lose, honestly. Like I'm going to see my dad today. Gotta go, and you gotta go to bed. And I don't see him often. We don't talk a lot, and it's always been that way. It's just hard. It's just you don't know what love is. You just don't know what love is.
Mm. I do like, and I'm exploring it myself at the moment. The concept of love as being, it's wrong to say what's left because it's nothing tangible in it, but it exists when there is no resistance. I really like that one, and yet I can't get my mind around what would be left with no resistance. What is there no resistance? So it's like it's the word acceptance doesn't even come close to what I mean. But when I say when there's acceptance of whatever turns up, it's experienced as love.
That's the best word you can give the description, the experience is what you're saying, right? Because
Yeah.
like I guess the best way I can understand that feeling might be when I see my grandkids, just pure like the love I have. I don't know how else to
Yeah. Yeah. So
identify with that, you know?
it's impossible to come up with a narrative that will do it justice. But you know the feeling in your body when you're with your grandkids, when you first see them, especially, you know, there's that overflow, that expansive, you know, that wanting to take them into you, you know, you're wanting to, that's it. Yeah.
Just come sit in my heart with me and never leave me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And if you think about it, that's the opposite of resistance, isn't it? That's that you're inviting in, come in. You kind of want to, you want them inside you almost.
Yeah. I just love it so much. But it scares me.
Well, it's kind of, I can understand that, you know, because it's so big, it wants to take over.
Yeah. Nothing better. Oh, it was a good conversation. Thanks, Vince.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. That helplessness, that is
Yeah, well, you
so
can
unnecessary.
you can theorize about that, you know, write stories about that. Helplessness is like it's we can talk about it as being a kind of having a victim mentality. That
Oh,
we we have
oh my
no
God.
agency, yeah.
I don't want
But
that.
right, well, that's way of
But it is though.
helplessness. But
Yeah.
it's also potentially a good doorway into acceptance. So if we take the good part of helplessness, not the fact that we are frustrated because we want to do something and we can't, but if we take the fact that it's inevitable that I can't do a thing, then
Yeah.
that's a great doorway into, oh, okay, so I can't do a thing. Right. Oh, well, I don't need to try anything. Give up. Easy. Relaxed. And so it's helplessness is a way into acceptance.
Yeah, I could certainly see that. Uh, it's also easy. But it is. Eh?
There you go. There's a little shift for you. Yeah.
Oh, geez, this is just so easy. It's like drop it if it's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Take the shoe out of your rock, you idiot. I mean the
Yeah.
the rock
Yeah.
out of your shoe. Yeah. Oh boy. God, you make life so fun after talking to you. You really do.
I love you, Jenny. I
Oh,
do.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what a blessing. Well, I gotta get ready to go see my dad. It's Father's Day. I don't know if you guys celebrate Father's Day. I don't know if it's a global thing. I have no idea.
I haven't heard of it here, but yeah, who knows? It might
No,
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a
Yeah.
fucking day for everything. It's ridiculous.
All right. Yeah, we do have a Father's Day, but I've no idea when it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to look at the calendar and see if it actually it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well,
Yeah.
it's tomorrow, but we're gonna go see him today. It's an hour and a half away.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'll
Made
go to
him a
bed
box of
then.
treats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good one. Yeah, good talk. Yeah, I love talking to
Oh,
you. Yeah.
yeah, I look forward to seeing this video again. I love talking
Okay.
to you too.
All right. No worries.
Okay.
Good night.
Okie doke. Good night. Oh, bye bye.